So women have to first believe in themselves as equals.
My parents or they couldn't even sort of afford me to pay rent maybe in a place like Delhi or Mumbai, could not support me. Of course, they had their own set of ideas and they were scared for me because they've heard horrible stories about girls turning into porn stars. The matter of fact is that they could have not afforded to pay even 20,000 rent a month. I moved to Bombay in 2005 and I was doing some catalog shoot. So I was coming back and forth and just doing some auditions and things like that. There is this girl hostel, Asha Chandra girl hostel in Juhu. They were renting actually mattresses and a closet. There was no room to rent. There were 5-6 mattresses and 5-6 closets, and for 5,000 or something. So I got a room like that, and then I kept going back and forth, and I came back only when I got like a I Love You Boss. That film was called I Love You Boss. But I did struggle. I have had really horrible time with everything possible.
If you don't know English, you will not understand most of the conversations. I remember when I was working, so they used to tell me कि तुम्हारे अभी 2 scenes हैं. तो मुझे लगता था सिर्फ 2 सीन हैं, मतलब आधे घंटे में खत्म हो जाएगा. So I did not know the difference between shot and scene. I remember magazine cover when I was very new. They called me and they're like, we want to do a cover with you. I said, you'll have to talk to my manager, and apparently you don't get paid for doing covers. I didn't know the difference between building a brand and doing a brand endorsement. So I'm like, my manager would tell you how much I charge for a cover, and they're like, what? She's mad. So I was banned from that magazine for some 5 years. So things like that. If you're an outsider, it's very hard to sort of, get your way through, and you don't have people who will guide you or who will tell you what to do. And if you're lucky enough, and if you're insistent and persistent, and you know that you have to make it, you will observe and you will learn. It's okay to be discriminated and to be, sort of an underdog, because I think the biggest problem is that people come with the baggage of their own perception of themselves, which is larger than life. I think that is not a good trap. It's okay. Like, I was okay with when I was treated that way. I was not whining about it. When you come, don't think it's just happening to you. It happens to everyone. The world is the way it is, and it's not going to be fair. You've got to make sure that you know how to work around it. Coming from small town, not being able to speak English, not being able to dress up properly. But that didn't make me, it didn't shake anything in me. And I always operated the place of my individuality. Like even today when I work, the first reaction I get from people is, oh, she's a delicate, beautiful girl. But as I go about my work, it just disappears. So women have to first believe in themselves as equals, and then only they can get that sort of treatment. Well, fear it's a very internal process. If you see, fear is not something that someone else instills in you. If you think about it, I'll give you a small analogy. क्योंकि मेरे से बहुत question पूछते हैं और मैंने सोचा यार ऐसे कैसे मैं how can I explain? So I've made an analogy that if I was a kid and I've spilled tea on my mama's sari. Now I go home and I go school, and I'm thinking कि मम्मी ने देख ली होगी, मम्मी ने देख ली होगी, मम्मी ने देख ली होगी. I'm crippled with fear. And whole day I am scared, I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared. So by the time I come home, I get slapped. So I expected this. Now cut to if I haven't. My twin sister has spilled coffee on a sari. I go school, I have nothing to come. I come back, I still get slapped because mama thought it was me. But look, in both situations, I did not. In one situation, I was full of fear, and the other situation, I was not. I must have some sort of grudge. I must have had, in second situation, I must think, why did my mama hit me? I must have some sort of anger. But I won't be fearful even when I got hurt. In both situations, I got hurt. Got hit by my mama. So my point is that fear is something that comes out of our own actions. For me, like the success story, I do believe that we need to have right role models. I mean, the graph and the ambition of an ordinary man. And we have a prime minister who was a chai wala. So I always say that it is not his victory, it's the victory of our democracy.